as a player, of course I started football when I was 6, so in Holland with a small amateur club. When I was 16, I became professional with FC Utrecht, which is in Holland. Then I played for Ajax. After Ajax, I went to Bayern Munich in Germany. Then back to Holland again to PSV Eindhoven. Then I stopped when I was 36. I played for the national team, 70 caps. So that's more or less my career as a football player. Then I started into coaching. First I was assistant coach at Utrecht and at Ajax. I've been head coach at Ajax, youth coach at Utrecht and Ajax. Then I changed to Scotland, to Glasgow Rangers, where Shota was a player at the time, and I've been an assistant coach. Then I went back to PSV Eindhoven, but then as a coach. And after that I came to Turkey, where I'm now a coordinator of the AKADEMİ. The first duty or the first task is bringing structure in the youth development. The other task is to building up the coaches in the way they're thinking about football and developing young players. I've noticed that there's never been, for example, a scouting for the youth. It was everybody came from all over places, and there wasn't a structure. So I'm trying to build a scouting where there's structure in as well, and we can have a data bank with players we've seen, and so these are the main tasks which I have. Well, first of all, I can imagine the way of thinking about supporters and director and the board of a team. But as a coach, of the way I've been as a coach, you want to develop a team as well, not only to play for result, but to make players better, even when they are already 25 or 26. I still think you can learn players a lot. But of course the result is the most important, and I can imagine that the supporters look, if the result isn't good, then the team wasn't good. But you can also lose a game when you try to play good football and you miss a lot of chances and you've been unlucky. That's for me more important than winning a game with bad football all the time. So also in a first team, I think it's important you can learn players to think about the game, learn about tactic. Each player can still develop if he works on it day by day. It's a profession. It's as a young player you start playing football as a hobby. But if you then became a professional, it's a profession. It's not a hobby anymore. And then still you should develop yourself. Like in a normal society, if you are a physiotherapist, each year you have a course again because you learn more. And as a football player, I think it's the same. You can develop day by day. There are a lot of technical football players with a lot of passion, but the way I've seen it this far is that they play too much, or only, not too much, but only with the passion. They are so willing to play that if somebody has the ball, each player wants to have the ball, so everybody comes to the ball, and sometimes you have to stay away and play with each other, and so I think that's where the Turkish football can improve a lot. Because of the passion and the way the Turkish players are, that they have a lot of passion, but it's always close to, if something goes wrong, it can go over the edge and they don't control themselves anymore. And you see that in a lot of games that when things are not going well, sometimes they lose their head. And I think if they can arrange to stay cool and still concentrate on the game and football, then it will be then it can be even better. Well, for young players, it's not straight away you can see that's a midfielder or that's a defender, or that's very difficult, because a lot of players who are playing in the highest league now, they started, for example, as an attacker, but they became defenders. So that's always difficult to. But you can see if a young boy has talent, if he's smart, if he thinks about football, or if he's watching other players, does he stay away instead of closing it down? And of course, technical skill, that's the most important. So that's the things you're looking at. But you can't always say that's a defender, because sometimes when he grows, he will be a midfielder, or the other way around. So that happens a lot. But you can see if a boy is talented. Of course, what he does with the ball, that's the most important. You can have a very talented young winger who's playing right outside, for example, who's very quick. He will win everything on pace, but then his last ball, his cross, is not good enough. You can train that day by day, put him under pressure with people in front of the goal, and to learn when he gives a cross to have a look, and you can train that even with very talented players who have a small difficulty with something. You can train that day by day, and it doesn't mean you will learn it for 100%, but each percent you improve. That's a little goal. So you can train on a lot of things day by day. First of all, they have to know that when you tell something to a player that some things can be improved, or he can do that better, it's not a negative story. It's because you're being positive and you want to make him even better than he already is. For a lot of young players, not only in Turkey but also in Holland or in Germany, if you say something, you can do that better, they take it as a negative thing, and we mean it positive, to even improve. So listen to the trainer, because normally he knows what he's talking about.